Whoa, hello there. So for those of you who haven't seen my face before, this is how I look like. Hello. I have glasses. I started wearing glasses like a few months ago. 20 years and then suddenly the glasses. That's pretty weird. Reflects the screen. It's kind of weird. My face has been on Twitter and on YouTube, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise if you've been really interested in finding out what I look like. I just wanted to stream a bit because I just wanted to talk a bit. I used to have I have a different microphone that it's not working because there's something about like I have some technical problems. So I'm using the headset microphone. So if you've heard me before, that's why my voice is a bit different. I just wanted to turn on the stream because I wanted to talk a bit about a lot of things, really. I streamed the whole of last year, almost the whole of last year. I streamed for almost a year. Obviously I took some months off every now and then, but I tried to stream. I tried like a year of streaming, and the reason I want to talk right now is because I feel troubled, to say the least. And there's been a lot on my mind. As you see in the background, I've actually been doing homework a lot. I'm just gonna explain like what I've been doing lately. So in the last few months, ever since August, about like mid-August, I've been, which is actually just like a month, like it's not really that long. I've been taking classes for the last few subjects that I need to get a high school degree, or like the American equivalent of a high school degree, but here it's like you could call it high school. It's the same thing, which is like it's pretty standard. Everybody usually has it, you know. A lot of people would say it's not a hard thing to get. I would agree. So lately I've been trying to do that, and it's been a bit weird because the reason I haven't already finished high school, or our equivalent of high school, is because I really don't like school, and that's a lot of people just don't like school. I get that, but I feel like for me, it's a very heavy duty thing to do schoolwork. It feels like I'm taking a test every time I do any schoolwork. So if I go to school, it feels like I get the same kind of like burden that as if I was going to take a test. If I do homework, I feel like I'm doing a test. And I don't know if that's just me putting high expectations on myself, at least in the performance. I wouldn't say I get good grades, but when I try, I usually get good grades. So certain subjects I have pretty good grades in, but certain other ones that I don't put work into, I have trash grades. So I feel like I know what effort is, and when I want to pass, like now, I know what amount of effort will work. I don't know what like the minimum amount of effort I need to put in, but I know what amount of effort will work. I guess what I'm trying to say is I've been trying very hard lately to do schoolwork. I've been trying very hard to be good enough to pass the classes. We have like half a year to try to learn the subject until the exams, which is half the time of a usual year. Although I have quite a few less. I have like 2 classes, so it's like nothing really. But I feel like the first 2 or 3 weeks I didn't really try too much. I did the homework, right? I did like homework maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 times. No, two or three times a week, and I had classes twice a week. or 3 times a week in two subjects, and that should be enough to like pass a class. I would assume, and except for that, I don't actually have any school or any like duty I have to do. Um, Monday, Tuesday, or actually Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I do nothing. I have time off, and Wednesday I wake up, or I start school at like 1. I'm there for like 2 hours. Thursday I start at like 2 or something, 2 hours. Um, Friday is probably the toughest one because I wake up to start school at like 9. Then I have school until 1, which that's a pretty good day. It's Friday and you just wake up early and to go to school. So I don't feel like the problem is actually going to school, but I feel like the problem is the expectation. That's just a bit of what I actually want to talk about, and it kind of like goes into what other thing I want to talk about. I don't really have a lot of things I need to do right now, but I still feel not really overwhelmed, but I feel like I'm suffocating myself. I feel like I don't get to, first of all, do the things I really want to do. I love playing video games. And I have a lot of spare time, really, but the last week I've tried to like catch up on the stuff that I haven't really been doing, and homework, and therefore I've been doing homework every day from when I wake up to I go to bed. And I wake up at around sometimes 10, sometimes I wake up at 12, sometimes I wake up a bit late and wake up at like 1 p.m. But I do homework until I go to bed. All I do besides that is eat. And I do some exercise as well, just for like good measure. But I feel like I'm training myself, and I'm still not like caught up. I'm halfway, maybe not even that, to where the others are right now. So if I were to just do the current subjects we have in the certain classes, let's say we start a new chapter and I just do a few homework assignments for that chapter, maybe not all of them, just a few, and if I don't finish all of them, I start again on the next chapter when we start there. I would probably get like a passing grade. But what I've been doing instead, because it makes it easier to learn the next step or the next chapter, is I've been going through all the assignments in the book, and it's really been time consuming because it's been a lot of extra work that I don't know if it's supposed to be something you do, but it takes all my day. And I thought maybe if I'd push for a week, I would maybe catch up. Maybe not. Maybe 2 weeks. But I'm starting to see now, even if I do catch up, I'll have to remember it, and I'll have to do more homework, and I'll have to do previous year's exams to practice for the actual exam. And like all of the things I'm saying, I think I'm going to do after I finish streaming, and tomorrow, and stuff like that. I think I'm going to keep trying. What I really want to say is that I feel like I don't want to. I feel like I want to not give up, because I've given up twice before for high school, but I feel like I want to change. I want to change away from trying and go over to doing something. So I've thought about maybe changing what I want to be, because right now I'm trying to become a computer engineer or software engineer or something like that. I want to program, code. I would really love to make games, because I already kind of know how to code from coding Roblox for many years. I've been coding Roblox since I was like 14. I've been trying to make abilities in video games, trying to make UIs, trying to make weapons, a bunch of different things, teleports, stuff like that in Roblox. And I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on it. I feel like the only thing holding me back is time and creativity. What do I want to make? I haven't really not been able to make something yet. I think. At least that I feel like I have enough time to make. So let's say I want to make a new mob. I don't think I have time for that, so I don't do it. But I've made weapons that work and look incredible. Well, my friend has been helping me. Obviously, he makes the visuals. I mean the actual models. But if you guys want to check that out, you can do !Roblox in the chat. Go to my profile. I have a place called Greenfields, where I just have a lot of things that I've scripted, like just there, because that's like where I put my things when I work on them. You can also check out my friend who has the actual place that we worked on last, called Whipperino, Work in Progress Areno. His place will be linked under my place, actually, or his profile, and you can go to his profile and check out his creations, and you'll see his places. Things that are scripted, those are mine, or the ones I scripted those. Not that that really matters, actually. Point is, because I learned programming outside of school from when I started in what we call middle school, or like youth school actually, but it's like middle school, like 8th, 9th, 10th grade. That's like one set of schools, or like that's one school. I started playing League of Legends actually. So I found League of Legends in like 6th or 7th grade. I'd played Dota before in Warcraft 3, the mod for Warcraft 3, and I didn't actually have access to it because I got banned because I just started, so I sucked so bad. I have no idea what this is. I have some hair in my eye. And well, yeah, so I played that. Thought it was really fun, really cool. Oh, it's on my glasses. I thought it was really fun and really cool, and I got kicked, and I was like, oh man. And then I played it a bit like offline, just solo. Obviously, didn't learn anything, and then I just, didn't play it. And then I found League of Legends in like 6th or 7th grade through a YouTuber. I played it a bit, and then I didn't really play it anymore because it was pretty hard, and it was pretty weird. It wasn't like I like games like RPGs where you had constant progress. League of Legends is a matchmaking game like Fortnite, where you don't really get progress from just sitting there. You have to actually try in order to actually learn, get better. That's the progress. The progress is getting better. Yeah. So I didn't really play it, and then when we transferred, or like everybody like got to the next stage in school. So from elementary school, which was like 1 to 7, when our school went to 8th grade, we merged with another school. A lot of those people played video games too, and a lot of us actually started playing video games, and they played League of Legends. That was the most popular and popular game at the time, and it was free. So obviously, like, anybody who heard about it could join, and start playing with everybody else. I started playing it a lot after that. Obviously, I played other games, but I played it a lot, and I think that like attributed to me not doing homework. But I feel like I stopped wanting to do homework in like 6th or 5th grade, really, because I didn't really want to do homework. School wasn't fun, and so I feel like that attributed to me not wanting to do homework itself, or like do school. But during middle school, or like 8th, 9th, 10th grade, it's the middle school, I started learning coding because I was playing Roblox, and I realized that a lot of these games were different, and you can't really make games just from like the free models. You have to actually make the things yourself. So I realized if I want to make the things that I think are cool, I have to learn how to program. So I went on to Google and do as all kids do. I Googled tutorial, but I spent months and months trying to figure out the basics. I had no idea what I was getting into. We had our fair share of free models with fire scripts. Well, now that I know how to code, I actually made scripts to remove all fire from places. So like we have some old places with some cool models, but we couldn't use those models for new games. So I made a script to just remove it. It wasn't really that hard. It's just like, yeah, whatever. So I feel like I've overcome the noob trap from the past. I learned to code because I wanted to make cool things. I realized it was really hard, but at the same time, when I figured out the basics, everything else was really like just fell into place. I could do anything I wanted to, but I realized it would take a lot of time to make a lot of the things that I wanted to. You know, a lot of I feel like I could make like anything right now in coding, but I realize a lot of the things that I want to make also have very tedious ways of making them if I make it with like the basic scripts. Like you can write one code at a time or one line at a time, or you can make an algorithm or like an easy loop or something, or use some techniques to make the coding easier. So instead of using a lot of computer power or like server power, you can make a smarter code that does exactly what you want it to do, but in less lines and more like algorithmically, which causes less lag. So obviously I don't think anything I make right now could really lag a server because I make like one thing. But if I were to implement it into a big game and I wanted to make it as big of a game as possible, I would have to be smart when I code. And I like being smart from the get-go. So if I see that, okay, this is kind of tedious, I can make it, but it's kind of tedious, I try to like research on how to make it even better before I even fully learn it. Point is, I realized I had a lot of things, like I felt like I could code anything, but I felt like there were a lot of things that I was doing not really in the most optimal way, so suboptimally. And I thought maybe I could go to school for programming, because I already know how to program. I took IT and IT. We have like IT1 and IT2. Those were two subjects in high school, or like what we call high school. It's like 11th, 12th, and 13th grade. I dropped out of 13th grade twice, and or actually just once, and the second time I just didn't show up to school the second half of the year. It was kind of funny because I had zero, or I had like 100% up attendance the first semester, and then the second semester it was like I wasn't there, which is like, it's a very big twist, but that's usually how it goes. It's like after Christmas I usually fall off incredibly hard. Like towards the end of the first semester I usually feel the drought. Like right now I feel the drought currently as well, but the second half is like when I feel it, but I can push through, and I feel like I can push through now with my current classes because there's only 2 classes, and it ends in November instead of just being like a big test. It's actually like ending. So if I just pull through, I can actually finish, which is gonna be crazy. But point is, I thought I could, you know, start programming and actually learn it, and then I could actually make games properly, and maybe actually for a job. And thing is, like when I went to high school, I thought I can get through. Like I didn't really know what I wanted to like study at all. I didn't know I was going to program at the time, and I just did like a general studies course. So we had like you know, English, or our equivalent of English, which is like our language, which is Norwegian. And that's like the most boring class because it's a lot of just like learning about stuff that you're not gonna use. It's like history of the language that isn't used for anything, and then it's history, obviously, stuff that I wasn't really interested in. You had math, which was like very grindy. It's not really hard. It's just you have to do a lot of the homework. If you take it chapter by chapter, you can actually learn all of the math really easily. I notice right now when I'm doing it, it's like, it's not even that hard. Like, it's a bit tricky to like realize the first time. You're like, okay, I think I get it, but I need to read, and then when you first start trying, it's like, oh, super easy. But if you jump into a later chapter, you can struggle a bit. But point is, general studies, did a lot of classes, went on to third. I had a lot of ups and downs during high school. Actually, we have 3 years of high school, but it's like 11th, 10th, or 11th, 12th, and 13th grade. And I say that like 15 times here, but try to get the point across. And during the second year, I was actually going on exchange to America, and I don't think that like changed me, but it might have. But I feel the same. But obviously I went through the process, so maybe I don't notice it. But before I went there, I was like a mediocre, a bit over average student. I had some classes I was like, eh, and then some classes I was doing pretty good in, you know. And then I went on exchange the second year because a friend of mine gave me the idea. And then I went, and I actually ended up with a family because you have to be at a host family. I ended up with a family that I didn't get along with. I don't think they liked me. Like, like it's one thing when you're like, I don't think they like me, but the school was amazing. I had friends in every single class. I felt amazing at school. I felt like I was at home or like whatever. Like it was amazing. People were amazing. They were so kind. They were so nice. They were so fun to hang around. But when I was at the host family, it was like a cold, distant feeling, and I didn't really know what to do. And even after like I think I was there for 2 months or a month, 2 months, and towards the end, I got a call from the organization. There's actually like I think I did something as well, but to put it short, I got a call from the organization. They said that I've been doing some crazy stuff. Point is, I didn't. It's easy for me to say like, oh, I didn't do it, and get you guys on my side, because obviously you don't hear the other opinions and stuff like that. So I want you guys to bear that in mind. But imagine, so I had a friend who actually ended up like I had the first friend I got at the school was a girl, and I was like, oh, it's pretty fun to hang around. And then I had to take the bus home, like the school bus, and I was living with another exchange student and the kid of the host family. So we were taking the bus home, and I saw that she was actually on the same bus, and I was like, oh, hey. And then we actually got off at the same stop, and I was like, whoa, what? So that was kind of fun. And so we hung out a lot during school, and when we got home, we were chatting on the bus and like getting off at the same stop and say goodbye and stuff like that. And I think the organization heard from, because our host family, the host family mom had apparently been making up stories that I've been doing. And I remember the organization calling me, and I was like, and they were like, I don't even remember what they said because I was like pretty thrown aback by it. The host family mom was like, she was like the coldest person in the house, and she'd been, okay, imagine you. This is basically what happened during the entire trip or like exchange thing in America. I was there for 2 months, and then I went back home because they didn't want me in the house anymore, and I decided to go back home because I didn't want to find a new school because I liked the school so much. But this is basically what this isn't actually. I'm gonna tell you like a different version of what the organization actually told me. But this is like a comparison, if that makes sense. So, imagine you. How do you even make a comparison? I feel like I want to say just one of the events that happened and like explain how different that was, but I feel like that's gonna be pretty awkward. Okay, let's just actually use a real example. So this is an example that happened. So this girl that I was friends with, and we talked every day. When we got off the bus, I did a joke. So she had like a ponytail, and I just did like this on the ponytail. She was like, "Ow!" But it like obviously it doesn't hurt, or even if it does hurt, it's like less than a pinch. You know what I mean? And then apparently, this is I'm going to talk a bit more about this as well. But apparently, the host family mom had seen me pull her hair from the window. Okay, and she had said to the organization that I'd been pulling her hair. Like she wrote it down that I did that, and then sent it to the organization as like a warning or a report. It's like if I was sitting next to a buddy and I was like, oh, you, right, and then punch him in the shoulder, and then for some reason the people that were around would say that to the police, and they would keep reporting in normal behavior like that to some sort of authority. So the hair pulling thing was literally one of the things that happened. And to elaborate on the thing, like that the host family mom saw. Okay, so apparently to see me pulling her hair, which isn't really pulling, it was like this, right? I'm not even joking. Like, this was it. And it's like, ow, but like she was like over exaggerating, obviously. And even like, doesn't matter. Point is, that was it. To see me doing that at the bus stop, you have to either, one, hear it from one of the two other people that were living in the house, which both were my age, like, I mean the two other, like the exchange student and the kid of the host family, because they were my friends as well. So either one, you have to hear it from those two, one of those two. Both of those were my age, they were friends of mine, they understood my humor, that it was a joke, and that it was like totally harmless, really. Either that, or she had to have seen it from the window, which I think they said in the when I got the call, they said she had been seeing me doing this. So apparently she had been seeing me doing this, which is more suspect, because there's like this wall. I can actually paint it. Hold up. No, actually I'm not going to paint it. I'm just going to show you. So I can paint it here. Hold up. Basically, this is the bus stop. This is the road. We go over here. The house is like right by the bus stop. All right. There's a window here. This thing. All right. This is the door. This is the window. There's a wall inside the house here. There's a wall here too, but I didn't draw it. And the kitchen is here. Whenever we got home, she would always be in the kitchen or not at home. Every time. Because there was nothing to do in this little room area. Nothing to do there. Bear this in mind. So, when I heard from the organization that she'd been seeing me from the window up here, this was the most suspect. I don't even care what I did, honestly. The suspect thing is that she had been literally staying here when we got home, looking at us. And then before we got in the door, which is like right here, she had been walking around to pretend she wasn't looking. Yeah, exactly. This is the weirdest shit I've ever heard about. When I heard the call from the organization, I was like, I think you got the wrong guy. Like, because they were obviously saying a bunch of different other stuff as well. Because I was friends with this girl. This is the same girl, obviously. And apparently, she'd been reporting in. I don't think she was actually doing reports. I hadn't actually been hearing from the school. I heard from the organization that the school had told them that the girl that I was friends with had been reporting in that I was bothering her and annoying her. And I was like, okay, that sounds like I'm misinterpreting if we're friends or not. So I thought, oh, maybe it's true, right? Maybe I am bothering her. And when I grew up at elementary school, whenever, I've always been very scared of being annoying to other people. I am annoying. I'm always annoying. I've been annoying a lot of times. But I'm very scared of like trying to be friends with someone who doesn't want me there. And I don't know why I have this paranoia. Because I don't think actually that was actually a problem until never actually. Like that's never been the case. I've never gotten a comment saying, you're annoying, why are you following us? I've never gotten that comment. But a lot of my friends, because I moved school in second grade, a lot of my friends in second grade, and like the school I started there, they treated some other kids that way. And I think that's why I'm scared of it. And I was kind of like, I feel like it's still kind of like they shouldn't have done that. I was too young to like try to help them. I thought it was kind of weird at the time. I still hung out with those guys, but I didn't really get to know them. They weren't really that good friends now, because I didn't know them too well back then, because obviously the situation. But I'm a kid. I'm not going to blame myself for that. But that's probably why I felt that way growing up. So when I started high school, I changed. I tried to not be scared of that. I tried to just jump in and pretend that no one was thinking that. And then I did the exchange to another country in America, and I didn't get that vibe. I had a bunch of friends. Like every single class, I had like at least one new person to talk to, like in the different classes, and if we saw each other in the breaks between classes, we would like, hey, what's going on? And like the vibe was amazing. Like we were chilling, everybody. But this girl, she was the one I was hanging out with the most, and we were friends. And like she had a bunch of friends, and I talked to those as well, and they were all like super nice and super happy. So I didn't get the vibe that I was doing anything wrong, because I was being treated the same way everybody else was being treated in a big group of friends. So usually that's an indicator that you're not, doing anything wrong. So when I got the call, back to the call, all right. When I got the call from the organization saying, it basically sounded like I was a big bully that was doing a bunch of stuff bad, like doing a bunch of, over the line stuff, and I was just like, I think you have the wrong guy. Like some of the things sounded a bit like the things I had been done, or like had been doing, like pulling someone's hair. I remember doing this, and I was like, is that the same thing? Are you talking? I don't think you have the right guy. And then they were like, you did this, you did this. I'm like, not really. I mean, kinda. And they were like, that's it. And I was like, it's like someone accusing you of like beating someone up when you do this on the shoulder, right? It's like, oh, my buddy, and like you punch him in the shoulder because it's a funny joke, and then you get accused for like beating someone up, and you're like, what is this extrapolation of the situation? Like this is not the situation. This didn't happen. But obviously, I can remember something that is the same motions, but it's not the same thing. So I was like, mind blown. So because of that, I think this was like a setup to get me out of the host family, because they didn't want me there, because they had 2 exchange students, and one of them was from Germany. So they had me and the other guy, and I think they were happy with the other guy, and I don't think they wanted me. It's a pretty weird way to get me out, but whatever. I don't really care. But what I do care about is that I couldn't go to the same school, because I changed. I got to after I got out of the family, they kicked me out, or I guess they just wanted me to be sent to another one. I got to like a temporary family, so there was no school near that family, so I couldn't go to a school. So I went to no school for like a week, and the school was everything I had in America, like on exchange. It was everything that I was doing there, because when I got home, I did homework, and then I couldn't really communicate with the people because they weren't interested in talking to me, and I felt like it was pretty cold. So when I was at school, that was like the thing I was doing there. That was the reason I still wanted to be on exchange. That was the school, the people I knew there. Yes, I decided to just go home, because I didn't want to change school. I could go to New York or something, but I didn't want that. I wanted to stay in the same school, which, in a different state is not going to fix. So I went back home. I tried to finish my second year of high school. So we have 11, 12, and 13. Say that every time. I think a lot of my friends said that I was kind of different. I heard that, and the teachers especially, they told me that later. They was like, you kind of changed when you got back. And I don't really know if I did, obviously. I don't know. But apparently they said so. But I did feel like it was hard to know what was the right thing and what was like too much. Because obviously I've just been accused of doing some crazy things, when all those things were just like tame, normal friend things, right? Like you feel like you're not doing anything wrong, and then suddenly you get a call saying everything you've done, or not everything, just like things that you can specify. So I guess things that were different from just normal talking could be described in a certain way, or like could be described, and if they can't be described, they will throw it out of the waters and be like, oh, you did crazy stuff, right? Point is, because I'd gotten this call saying a lot of things that I thought was completely normal. Maybe it was a cultural thing, but anyway, the things that I thought was completely normal were apparently a lot. They were like, oh, you should never do stuff like this. I was like, well, right. So I was taken aback. And so when I got back to the school in Norway, which was my normal school, same school as the first year I went, they thought I was kind of different. I was acting kind of different. And obviously, if I'd done the exact same things in America, in Norway, no one would have cared, right? because the things I did weren't bad. They were just twisted by someone who I assume this at least, because I feel like if I remembered all the things they said, they probably have a report somewhere. If I actually call them, they probably find it somewhere. But if I described it now, maybe one person would think one thing was maybe fair to write down. Maybe. If they were like, okay, you can't really trust one perspective, because this is my perspective. I'm telling you guys that I was done wrong. You guys don't really know the truth, right? I could be lying, I could be underplaying it, but honestly, I don't know. And that was the tricky part. Because when I came back home, I didn't know what I did wrong. They told me things, but I didn't know what was less than that. I felt like I'd been like as nice as I could. I usually try to be nice. I'm not saying I'm nice. I would probably say more polite. I think that's more correct. But I don't think I'm a nice person. I gotta be honest. I'm pretty selfish and stuff like that. The point is, like, I think I tried to be polite, as polite as I could. And when people extrapolate you being polite into you did something bad, it's like you don't really know what to do, and the only thing that's less than what you've been doing is not doing anything. So after I got back home, I might have done nothing. I feel like I went like back into my bubble. When I started high school, I tried to go out of my bubble and try to be more a people person. When I got back, I was definitely not that. I was just talking to my friends. Didn't really want to go out of my comfort zone. It was kind of different. I wouldn't attribute that to why I don't really like doing homework, which is the point of this. I think me starting to play League of Legends in 8th grade is what kind of pushed me into doing less homework. Because when I got back to it from America, I think I had like a pretty difficult math class in 2nd grade of high school. So 12th grade at the time. 13th is the last one. I keep saying that, but whatever. And I failed that one class on the exam because I barely passed on the class and then I failed the exam. So I'm taking an easier math now and actually building on that. Or actually, I took the easy math the year after, just straight on the exam, just didn't really do the thing. I passed it, and now I'm taking like the build on that to get the whole math. So the hard math that I failed is basically the one that I've done and this one combined. So I'm ending up with the same type of math, but point is, I didn't really do a lot of homework in 2nd grade when I got back. I did some, but I was like I didn't really want to do school. I wanted to do other stuff. I wanted to play video games. I don't know if that's because it was more comfortable, or if it was because, I don't know, maybe I was lazy, I don't know. But I feel like, oh, by the way, I didn't actually tell you guys this. This is probably pretty important, actually. In 7th grade, before I started 8th grade, where I started playing a lot of League of Legends, my brother, I feel like this is sort of his thing, but it affects me, so it's sort of my thing to say as well. My brother, I have a brother who's like 2 years older than me. Me and him did everything together. I'm telling you, like, except for school. Obviously, he was 2 years older than me. But we went out to play with our friends together. We went, we played all the same games. We did almost the same sports. We did like everything together. We were two brothers. I wouldn't say we were good friends, but we were brothers. So we did everything together. And in 7th grade, he was in 9th grade. He did an operation. He had a lot of trouble with his throat. There was some things in his throat, so you can like remove them to remove the problem. He had a lot of like sore throats and stuff like that. So we removed his some things in his throat, and the operation was fine. But even before this, he was a very anxious person. He's always been very anxious. He has a very high anxiety level. He's very scared of new people. If he doesn't, like, me and him went to Instead of kindergarten, we went to like a person who has kids during the day. It's basically like a kindergarten but uh, private or company basically, or like it was like one person, I guess I could say. And he was very scared of being at those places as well. Uh, so he already had like a pretty high anxiety level. And then he did the operation, and he woke up during the operation. He had a tube down his throat. This is what I've been told though. He had like a tube down his throat. He woke up. He didn't know how to breathe because obviously he couldn't breathe normally. It was being given to him. It was pretty weird. They got him to go back to sleep again, and that kind of traumatized him. So ever since that operation, which was in 7th grade, which is 10 years ago today, he hasn't spoken a word. Actually, 2 words. I remember like a month after or something, he said something on accident because he was trying to talk, but he was still having a sore throat. I don't know. Point is, he hasn't been speaking. He's been a mute for 10 years. Because of that, his anxiety level has increased drastically. He has not. Wait, what? Yeah, it's pretty weird. I'm pretty nonchalant about it. Um, but it's because you get used to it. But his anxiety level skyrocketed after that. He didn't go out to play with our friends anymore. We had common friends. We did sports. We played football together. We played football with the people. So, and I usually, my routine was, oh, I want to go outside. I'm gonna go ask my brother, hey, want to go outside? And if he agreed, we usually went outside. And if he didn't agree, we were usually staying inside. And sometimes I would go out alone without him. But because most of the time I would ask him to go outside when I went to go outside, and he stopped going outside. I just didn't go outside a lot, almost at all. So unless I really wanted to go outside, or some of my friends came to me, I stopped going outside. And obviously that increased my time at home playing video games. So I think that seems pretty obvious to be the case as to why I play a lot more video games, or play a lot of video games, is because I just transitioned over to that. Because he still played a lot of video games. Like, he still played a lot of video games when he stopped going outside, because he could still play video games inside, right? And if I wanted to like play games with him or something, I had to play video games, because he wasn't going to go outside to play football or, you know, ride bikes or whatever. And that was like that didn't really help me when I went to a new school, or when 7th to 8th grade. In 8th grade, you go to a new school, you merge with another school. So we merged with another school, and I had this like stupid idea of like, I'm just gonna be a silent person, and it was pretty stupid. Like, it's pretty stupid. So I didn't really make a lot of friends at the start from the new school, and I kind of lost some of my old friends as well, because I wasn't as extroverted, because I was trying to be introverted for some weird reason. So during high school, when high school started, everybody went to new schools, because you could like choose your subjects. So this is like 11th grade. You go to new schools. We call it onwards going. That's literally the name of the type of school. So instead of high school, we call it onwards going. This is literal translation though, so it sounds a bit less weird when you say it in my language. Yeah, we went on to new schools. So the school that I was going to, there was only me. There was other people that from my school that I knew, but they were going in different courses and stuff like that. So I didn't really meet them. But 2 of my best friends, actually, my two best friends. Well, 2 of my maybe 5 or 6 best friends. We had like 6 friends we lived in the same area when I grew up. But like 2 of them, the ones that lived the closest, so they were probably the ones that I talked with the most, they both ended up switching from their course over to my course, because my course is like a general studies course. So after you're done with it, you can become a lot more, or you can start studying a lot more different things. But the courses they were taking, You can't really study everything you want after. You can only study stuff within that field. Point being, I ended up actually having a few friends there that I already knew, and that was pretty cool. But I thought, since it's a new school, nobody's gonna know that I'm stupid and you know, not popular. So I thought I can just be super extroverted, and so I started doing that first grade, and then in second grade I went on exchange, as I just talked about, and when I got back I was more introverted because of the negative experience that I had, that I just talked about. I was like, I lost a lot of what I gained the first year, because the first year I tried to be more extroverted and like build on that, and then second year when I got back from exchange, it kind of like went back down a lot. I would still say it's a lot more than 10th grade, but it's a lot less than first grade. But I think it was a good, like, I think I needed to go down a notch, because I was pretty like high up in like trying like super extroverted. I was a bit over the top, I gotta be honest. But it's good to try, you know. But you know, when I got knocked down a peg after second grade, it was like a lot lower. It's like a lot lower, more than now, so to say. But I think because of that, it's probably a bunch of different things colliding. You know, my brother, me playing a lot of video games, second year of high school, that made me really exhausted after the first half of the third year. And the first semester of the third year, I actually had to do, as I was saying, I failed the hard math during the second year. So I thought instead of trying really hard on the second half of, or like the upgraded version of the hard math, because if you pass that, you pass both. I thought I could instead take a class or like an exam for like a different difficulty of math. I can just draw it here real quick. It's pretty straightforward when you see it. So this is what I'm talking about. Those two easy blocks, those are like the ones I'm doing right now. So I've finished this, the first half of the third year of high school, and then this one is what I'm doing right now. And this is what I failed the second year of high school, and this is what is on top of the second year of high school. So it's, you see, like, instead of taking this, and if you finish this, you get, it doesn't matter if you fail this one, because this one is like more. Instead of trying to do this, which is super hard, I decided to take this as an exam, which put more work on me during the first half of the first semester during third year of high school, which is 13th grade. Keep saying that. Last year of high school, I should say. So this put more work on me because I had this on top of this. It's the same as this though, but you have to finish this half while you're working on this half, and you have to finish this half within a half a year. Whereas here, you do the first half of the year, and then you do the second half of the year. So although this is 1 year and it's 1 year earlier, if you do both of these in the third year, you end up having to do half of this and all of this at the same time. So it's less the second half of the year, but you're exhausted. So I think that, on top of my brother, on top of the exchange, on top of me playing a lot of video games, caused me to quit high school in the last year, after half a year. And I was tired of school. I wasn't just tired of school, I was tired of homework, I was tired of everything. And really, I wanted to make I wanted to make YouTube videos, because I remembered making YouTube videos in 8th grade. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can see a lot of my content. If you're watching this afterwards, after the stream on YouTube, you can, you know, obviously just check around. But like, I made some videos, and I thought that was like really fun. It was amazing fun, and that's also some of the reason for why I'm streaming right now. It's because this is like my home, to some extent. For the last 10 years or so, I've been growing up with YouTube. I've been friends with YouTube. I've been friends with streaming. I've been friends with video games. I'm not saying that I made all my friends off of video games, because I do have a lot of friends in real life. And I feel like if I wanted to be a real life centric person, you know, have a job, go out with friends, I feel like I have that. But I don't want that, because that's not where I'm comfortable. Because I don't think I'm an extrovert. And even if I have been in the past, because maybe I am, I feel like a lot of the things that has happened in my life has caused me to like change to an introvert. And I'm a lot more comfortable not going to school. I'm a lot more comfortable just play video games. I'm a lot more comfortable not really talking to my friends in real life, not really going over to their houses. It's a lot of fun when I do, but I like spending time just chilling at home. I like that a lot more. And not just a lot more, I like it a lot. That's kind of why I wanted to stream today and talk about this for an hour. It's a long video. It's also a stream, so it doesn't matter. Some other things I also want to talk about, but I just want to get that first part out of the way. You can see here I've been working for 1 week straight trying to catch up. I wasn't really not doing stuff, but I wasn't doing all the stuff, and I'm trying to do all the stuff right now. I've been working on my homework for just a week straight. Like I haven't been playing games, and I love playing games. I do this like literally. I want to talk about last year. I started streaming last year because I didn't want to go to school. I dropped out of school. Actually, let's continue the story. I dropped out of high school the 3rd year, and after that, I did nothing from maybe January or February of that 3rd year, because I dropped out in the 2nd semester in about like February. I didn't do anything from February until the end of August that year. So that was like 8 months of literally nothing. I watched YouTube videos, I watched anime, I played video games. And we had, after I moved to America, or after I went on exchange to America, my mom moved to the city where none of my friends live. So when I got back from America into the house, back with my mom, I had no friends around me. I could go visit them, like it takes like half an hour with the bus, but you know, you can't really do that every day. Just because I usually just went out and knocked on their door, hey, are you home? Hey, want to go outside? But you can't really do that if it takes half an hour to get over there, and you have to ask them, and then they might not be home every day, you know what I mean? So I just ended up not going. I did hang out with one of my friends, who was actually one of the 2 people who ended up going to my high school after everybody chose their new fields, because he went over to the city and just hung out as a good friend of mine. So we hung out a bit every now and then, but not really much. Yeah, so in August, I had, when I dropped out, approximately, I decided to go to what we call a folk high school. So it's like or a people high school. That's the literal translation. But it's like a school where you don't do homework. You wake up and you have a chosen field. You can go on trips, like out in the forests with a bunch of people, or you can. One of the other classes there were like taekwondo. They had music. They had filmography. They had what did they have? They had some other stuff too. I keep forgetting everything because there were quite a few classes. But I did esports. Yep. So I went to a school where my only need, or the only thing I had to do, was play video games. And you'd think, that's pretty fun. I wake up, I play video games, and I can do whatever I want afterwards. Like that seems pretty amazing. And that's what I thought too. And then I got there, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was an amazing place, and it's like some of the most fun I've had in my entire life. And the people I met there, the people I got to know, are some of my best friends today. And it was literally like the best year ever. Well, actually, when I finished that school, I was like really sad, and my mom was like, "Okay, we gotta go get a job now." I'm like, "Can I wait like a week?" And she's like, "No, now." I'm like, I'm pretty set back by the leaving all these people. that I spent a year with and we're hanging out with every single day, all day. Can I just like get a week? And she was like, okay, fine, a week. And after a week, I had to get a job. So I tried applying for a bunch of jobs. I realized I had like literally no experience in anything because I don't have any education or anything. I haven't worked. I've worked once before, like properly. That was a summer job. But, like I haven't really done anything. You know, there was a lot of other people that had like resumes and they've been working for 10 years or 5 years at a company and then the company shut down or something. That's why they were trying to find a new job. I was like 20. Everyone else there was like 30. So I was like, oh man, I feel like I'd rather just go back to school and, you know, get an education. I went back to school. I tried finishing the third year of high school, or the final year of high school for the last time, or like for the second time. And the first half was fine. I think I overworked myself, which I always do this. I'm doing it right now. I'm stupid. But I overworked myself, so the second half I was really drained. I ended up not quitting though, or like dropping out. I actually just didn't attend school as much. Some classes I didn't. I took the exam and I failed. They're actually not that hard classes if you just read up and, you know, do the homework. But I didn't, because I was so exhausted. And I feel like it wasn't really like homework exhausted. I feel like I don't know, I like playing video games. I like cooling off with video games, but I can't play as much video games as I want to, or invest a lot of my time into video games if I go to school. Because school takes mental energy as well. So if you take mental energy from playing League of Legends, and then you take mental energy from school, combine them together, you're gonna die. Dead. I mean, obviously you don't die. Yeah. I struggled, and then we get to last year, which is the year after I went to that school. I did not get the required general competence that you get when you finish high school, because I failed 2 classes. I still have to take 3 written exams. I have to take 2 written exams, and I have to take an exam in the current. I'm taking right now the second. I was showing you guys the math earlier. I'm taking the math to finish that, so I have an exam in that, and I have an exam in Computer Science 1, which is really easy because I've already done Computer Science 2, which is pretty weird. But I didn't have an exam in Computer Science 2, which is the problem. I didn't know this until a few weeks ago. I didn't even realize that I hadn't had an exam in Computer Science 2, which I did in my second year. And I'm pretty good in computer science, because as I told you guys, I have been programming for many years. So I already, I did pretty well in Computer Science 2. So we started with Computer Science 2, and then we have Computer Science 1 later. But since I dropped out, I didn't actually have Computer Science 1. That's why I'm taking it now. So if I take Computer Science 1 now, I have Computer Science 1 and 2. And then I'm taking math as well, so I get math 2. So that should be enough, but I don't actually have an exam in Computer Science 2, which is kind of, oops. So I need to take an exam in Computer Science 2. And I feel like I can just do that, but the deadline for showing up, or like setting up an exam, is over right now. So I need to wait until next semester. So I can just take these 2 classes, which I don't really care about. Like this is what's bothering me right now as well. But I was thinking, I'm just going to talk about last year first, and then we go to what's actually bothering me. I'm doing such a long, I guess this is more of a recap on my life to some extent. But last year is kind of when I started streaming. It's when I got to know you guys. I had been streaming a bit before that, but that was like maybe for a week, and then it was a pretty unpopular game. I think I had like 50 followers when I started streaming last year. So it's like nothing. Last year, right at the end of school, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start streaming. I'm going to spend my whole summer streaming every day. And that's when I started streaming Roblox. And most of you guys are here from Roblox during that time. And I had 50 followers and like 0 viewers. And I just streamed because I thought I just wanted to play Dungeon Quest, which was a Roblox game, and I thought might as well stream it. Why not? Because I've been streaming a bit in the past, so I was kind of used to it. I started streaming on June 20th. Is when I started streaming hardcore, 2019. June 20th, 2019. I've been streaming before that, as I was saying, but June 20th. So that's over a year ago. Yeah, that's actually over a year ago. It feels kind of weird that it's last year, because I was streaming. You know, I feel like this year, these few months have been like so long. It's pretty weird. I also stopped streaming after like half a year. Anyway, I streamed during the summer. I started building a lot of viewers and a lot of followers on Twitch, playing Roblox, and it was like, I'm not gonna joke, it was so much faster than I had expected. I expected to maybe sit on 1, 2, 3 viewers for the whole year, and I was planning on streaming every single day. And I was like, this is crazy. Started gaining like 10 viewers, 20 viewers, 30 viewers, 40 viewers, 50 viewers, 60 viewers consecutive, like every day. And I was playing Dungeon Quest, and I was gaining viewers, maybe 10 an hour, maybe even more, a lot more probably. And soon enough, I had like 1,000 followers. I was like, holy moly, 1,000 followers. And I think there was a day during that summer that I actually got 100 viewers. I got hosted twice though, by like 20 or something, like 20 viewers and then 20 viewers, or something like that. And I was like 100 viewers. Whoa! Like it was fast. It was growing and it was fast and it was crazy. Playing Dungeon Quest every day. I've been talking about this a lot on stream, but playing Dungeon Quest every day, it's not a very in-depth game. It gets very repetitive very, 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 very quickly. Especially when you play every day for... I streamed 6 hours a day at the time. I didn't want to stream more, and I didn't want to stream less, because that was like a good time. I was kind of stealing the amount of time that I want to stream off of Lyric, because he's one of my favorite streamers. So he streams 6 hours a day, usually. And I was like, 6 hours a day, that seems good. So I stole that. So I tried switching to... because I was streaming Roblox for 6 hours a day, and then I really wanted to play World of Warcraft. So I started playing World of Warcraft off stream when I finished streaming. And playing Roblox all day and then playing World of Warcraft all day, I didn't get the time to play World of Warcraft as much as I wanted to, because I woke up and did all my morning things before I started streaming. I didn't play any games before I started streaming. So when I streamed for 6 hours, I played World of Warcraft after that. And that was like, you have a maximum of like 5 or 4 hours. Playing 4 hours a day doesn't really get you anywhere in World of Warcraft. If you want to play like really well, not professionally, but like really well. Roblox is super simple. Yeah, that's the thing. Since I didn't really get to play World of Warcraft as much, I thought maybe I could transition over to streaming World of Warcraft. That did not go as well. I didn't really try too much though. But the thing is, I was already at such a high number, like 50-60 viewers on Roblox, that when I started streaming, because I had like 1,000 followers at the time, that when I started streaming World of Warcraft, I had like 2 viewers, 0 viewers, 3 viewers, 5, sometimes 6 viewers. And it was like, it wasn't, if I started streaming World of Warcraft from the start and I had 3 viewers, it would have been fine, because I was expecting to have no viewers at all the whole, like I was trying to stream for a whole year, and I was expecting to have 0 viewers for the whole year. But I started growing so fast when I played Roblox that when I switched game, because I got bored of the simple game Roblox, I lost all my viewers, because nobody cared about World of Warcraft. They all played Roblox. They just want to play Roblox. I switched game, nobody was interested in the other game, and they didn't watch. I'm not going to blame them. I do the same thing. When a streamer I like plays a game I like, I watch the streamer. If they play a game I don't like, I just watch another streamer. Like, I understand it. I get it. But I wanted to play I wanted to play something more complex if I was going to stream 6 hours a day. So I streamed a bit of World of Warcraft, and then Classic was coming out, and I was planning on streaming Classic. I streamed for a bit, and then I just didn't want to stream it anymore. I wanted to just play Classic. And then I played Classic for about 2 weeks, and then I stopped. And after that I was kind of bored. I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I think I got back to streaming Roblox, because I was like, I just want to stream. I still just want to stream, but I don't know what to stream. I don't want to just stream a game I don't like. I would rather just sit here and talk than stream a game I don't like. But I would rather, more than that, stream a game I like. And I like quite a few games. But Roblox gets pretty boring pretty fast. I hope one day that the games on Roblox become more complex, but as of now they are too simple. And I think that's because they try to cater to a lot of new players and people who play on mobile devices and stuff like that. But like I would like to stream, you know, playing Pokemon, going through a Pokemon game. I would like to stream playing League of Legends. I would like to stream playing through single player games. Like that's actually what I really want to do, is play through single player games and stream it. Like Lyric. Well, not just like Lyric. Lyric plays a lot of online shooting games as well. But and I'm not saying I want to be like Lyric either. He does a lot of things that I think are fun, is what I really want to say. I transitioned I took a break for like a month when Classic came out. Then I started streaming Roblox again. Started getting viewers. I had like 20, 30 viewers again. And it was pretty fun. And then I got bored. And I streamed a bit more after I got bored, and then I just quit. And then I didn't stream again until April, I think, of this year, so 2020, after the Corona thing started. I started playing a game called Spiral Knights. Some of you guys probably know that game. I've been playing it a lot recently. It's on, if you look at the channel, you can see like highlight videos. You click on the channel and there's probably a few highlight videos of Spiral Knights. But that's been pretty fun, and it's been fulfilling a lot of my itches. It's a grindy game, so I can play for many hours a day. It was an MMO, so I can play with other people, so it's a lot more fun. It's and with viewers. It was complex enough as to where it got harder and harder, and there was like things to do, and the mechanics were complex enough to where I felt like I could master them and learn new things, and it was more complex than Roblox. It was more fun. And then there was a progression system, so you know, I got gear, I got items, and you know, I could play it for a long time and new things would appear. There are two problems with the game though. The developers don't make new content. They just release like events all the year. So if you play it as much as I did when I streamed on your own time, and you play it for like 3 years, you will have everything that you want. Maybe even a year. You will have everything you need, everything you want. All the items you want, all the money you will ever need, everything. Like you'll be done with the game. And that's not a problem. The problem is, when that idea set in, I was like, what do I do after this? Plus, I wasn't really getting bored of the game. I was just getting bored of playing games, I guess. Because I was playing all day. But more importantly, actually, a thing happened with my hand, or my nose, more to say. I've had some medical conditions. My hands itch, and this is actually the main reason why I stopped streaming last year. I actually forgot about it while I was talking. I was just recapping what happened instead of why I did it. The reason I stopped streaming was actually because I was sneezing 100 times a day, basically. So I was like, I was talking during stream, and then I would start sneezing, and I would sneeze, and I could talk for maybe 10 minutes and start sneezing again, and you know, it was really hard to stream and sneeze all day, right? And it wouldn't go away. So I had to go to the doctor. I've been getting medication, or like, not really medication. I've been getting some eye drops. Apparently, I've noticed that something with the eyes have to do with the nose. I don't know, but it's not fixed yet. That's the thing too. It's not fixed yet. And apparently, I'm allergic to something that's in a lot of things. It's called formaldehyde. It's a pretty weird thing. But apparently it's in like a lot of things. It's in wood. Everything's made of wood. It's in a lot of different things. and it's everywhere. So apparently I'm allergic to everything, or a lot of things, but not everything. And the point of that is, it's hard to not sneeze in certain places. So I've moved now since I started school. That's the main reason I stopped streaming, because it was a lot to deal with, feeling very sick all the time and then streaming, and then it actually getting worse when I started talking, because even now, I've been talking for like more than an hour. My throat is getting kind of sore. I should probably drink some water, but I'm gonna finish this. But like that would happen every day, and so it wouldn't get better, Point is, I streamed a lot, got back, streamed Spiral Knights. As I was saying, I lost the Roblox viewers because they're not interested in the other games. I have a lot of followers because of Roblox. I think I wanna. I said I think I wanna start doing school again, because I realized no matter what game you play, like this is besides Roblox. Even if you play World of Warcraft or League of Legends, no matter what game you're playing, if you're playing it for 6 hours a day, every day, and you're not playing it for fun, you're playing it because you have to, you will get tired of the game. The thing about games is they're very repetitive, because there's a certain depth to every game. And when you reach the depth, you reach the bottom, or like the scope of it. And after that, it's only mastery. And mastery is one thing, but when you're mastering, let's say Spiral Knights, you're mastering the game mechanics, but it's on the same levels over and over and over and over and over and over. That's why I think World of Warcraft is a better game than Spiral Knights, because World of Warcraft at least has more new content, and you get new content after a certain amount of time. And League of Legends, I would say, like obviously you have a bunch of different champions, right? And you get constant new patches. But I would say the biggest thing with League of Legends is that you get new champions. You can try new champions. It's pretty fun. But even that, like the focus of League of Legends is like if you want to make it into a progressive game, a game where you are progressing, you're not going to get better gear, you're not going to get a higher level. You are going to get a higher level, but it's not going to affect you in any way. And you're not going to get new maps or anything like that. The only thing that's your progress is your rank. And your rank is based off of your skill and your game knowledge. And that's not going to increase if you're not paying attention to the game. And it's not easy to pay attention to the game when you're paying attention to this. This thing. So, League of Legends isn't really a game I can stream from my own experience. I've tried streaming it a bit, but it's really hard to play the game well and try to talk with the chat. You can just ignore the chat and you'll play a bit better, but even just streaming adds a bit of pressure that is like unneeded. So I streamed and I was like, I'm not really having fun playing games anymore, because streaming a game, although it's a cool thing, right? And you play games every day, all day, it becomes a job. You have to do it instead of you want to do it. And even something as fun as games can become very boring if you play it enough, or if you just play games. Like it ruins the games that you're playing. Because I had a lot of fun grinding in Dungeon Quest. Like I probably played more Dungeon Quest before I started streaming, for more hours than after I started streaming. The problem wasn't the game, really. The problem was what I wanted from the game. Because when I played it on my own time before I started streaming Dungeon Quest, I played it because I wanted to, and I grinded because I was just chilling. I was watching YouTube videos. And this is also an important thing, which I'm going to come back to. While I was streaming, I was talking to the chat. I was trying to make the chat have fun. I was progressing so that I could talk to the chat, and I could make the chat feel better, and I could get viewers. I don't know, it was more about the stream than the game. As I was saying, on my spare time I watched videos as well. When you're playing a very narrow-minded, like very simple game, and playing games on the side, when you're playing a game without distraction, like I have two monitors here, one here, one there. There, two monitors. I could watch a YouTube video here, I could watch a stream here while I was playing the game. And I could have fun with the game. And when I was kind of like, this isn't as exciting, I could just look over here while I was playing. And I could get the stuff in the game that gave me the fun while I was having fun looking at this screen for a YouTube video or a TV show or whatever, or listening to music, right? And you can't do that when you're streaming. That's why I thought I would rather have a job in programming, because I already know a bit of programming, and if I could get an education in that, I could go to work, program a game, or try to code a game, try to make a game, which I thought would be better than what I was playing. And then I could earn money that way, and then I could go home and not worry about homework, not worry about extra work, not worry about if I can play the game that I want to play. I could just play games. And if I for a week I didn't want to play games, I could go outside. I could hang with my friends. I didn't have to choose. If you have a normal job, the thing is that your spare time is everything you want it to be. It's not the one thing that you're putting your mind to. And I think that's something that I think maybe making YouTube videos is easier than streaming. Or not easier, but it's less time consuming. You can spend, I remember making, obviously I made pretty trash videos, I'm not gonna lie, but I spend maybe 4 hours max, or tops, making a YouTube video. And if you have the right equipment, like the only things that if I look back on my gameplay videos on YouTube, the things that I see as a problem are the audio quality, the game capture quality, and that's about it. And those things can be fixed if you have the right equipment. Obviously I was editing videos, but that wouldn't take me more than 4 hours if I was spending a lot of time on it. And if you record for 20-30 minutes and then spend 4 hours like editing the video, not only are you spending less time on something that's really fun, because you're playing games and you're making videos, you're creating cool content, not only are you spending less time on doing that, which is really fun, so it's like 4 hours, 4.5 hours tops, but it's less time than streaming for 6 hours. And streaming for 6 hours isn't even that long. Like if you look at some of the biggest streamers, some of them even stream for, like XQC for instance, he streams for 12 hours a day. Like I don't even know how he does it. Like it's a lot more time consuming to stream, and it's not every day that you want to stream the same game. I mean XQC probably he can play like almost any game, right? Which is pretty cool. He's pretty lucky like that. He got there by playing one. He played Overwatch, and he built his stream, and then it became a variety Andy after that. That's what I realized. Like I'm not really having the same type of fun when I'm playing a game over and over and over, just grinding the same game. It's not the same for me. It's not the same. And the only way to not do that is if I don't need to do that. That's why I decided to start school and try to finish my last year. And I could get a job in programming or something. Because I would be working on video games, making video games with the programming. I would be having fun. You know, when I got home, I could play whatever game I wanted to, for as long as I wanted to, is what I thought. Now here's the real kicker. The reason I'm streaming today is not because of what has happened. It's not because I'm doing, you know, what my plan is going to be. The reason I'm streaming today is because I'm kind of tired of, like, I wake up as I've been saying, for the past week, I've been trying to do homework all day, every day, to catch up and be ahead of what my current classes are doing, so that I get a top grade, or at least like pass with good conscience. But I've really been wanting to play League of Legends, and I've been wanting to stream. Not every day, obviously, honestly. But I've been wanting to stream a lot, and I've been wanting to just talk to the stream. I've been wanting to make some YouTube videos, some fun videos. I've been wanting to just play games with my friends, Among Us, for instance. I've just been really tired of doing homework. And it's not just the homework. I've been thinking, like, if it's gonna feel like this when I start, university, then I feel like I'm gonna be unable to finish. So maybe it's a better idea. I'm just gonna take them on. I can't see shit. Maybe it's a better idea if I finish this. I'm obviously gonna finish this because why not? And start working at like a basic job or something, because it's pretty exhausting. I don't know. What I also noticed, I noticed this before, but I hadn't really understood what it was. But when you do homework, and I googled this as well. I was like, why is this happening? But a lot of people apparently also feel the same way. When you're doing homework, you start feeling very lonely, which is very weird. Because I can sit by myself all day playing video games. I can sit by myself all day playing a single player game and not feel lonely, having fun, chilling, watch YouTube videos all day. But when I started doing homework, I started feeling really lonely. Like I just had this feeling inside that I don't know. And it was very strange, because it's like, it's just homework. Like, why do you feel lonely? I felt lonely before, but that was not because of homework. Well, I have been feeling lonely before because of homework, but I didn't know that was what I was feeling. And you know, I've been feeling lonely before, not because of homework. Feeling lonely because of homework, it was such a weird experience. And it kind of disappeared. I haven't really felt lonely because of homework recently. But I've been feeling like I should be allowed to play video games. And should focus on video games. Because that's what I like. I like video games. And I feel like it doesn't really make sense for me to focus 100% on schoolwork, like I have been doing for the past week, because it's too exhausting. But not just too exhausting. It's not what I want to do. Obviously, I'm just doing homework because I need the homework to get the education, to do the work that I want to do. But how are you guaranteed to find a job? Well, if you get a computer science or computer engineer degree, you're gonna find work, especially these days. But if I'm having fun playing video games, how am I gonna be guaranteed to find a job? Or even if I make a cool game, or I'm making cool games, how can that be guaranteed to be more fun than the homework I'm doing right now? Is it really guaranteed? Is it going to be fun at all? Is it going to be worse because I have to work for the progress? Like, because it's work, maybe they are expecting more. And this is kind of where why I want to stream today, just to talk. Just want to tell you guys about stuff. I wanted to talk about this too. I was watching Markiplier. This is an old video of his, where he said that when he started YouTube, or when he started like going ham on YouTube, he lied to his parents that he was going to school. And instead of going to school, he made YouTube videos. Obviously, he succeeded while he was doing that, and he dropped out of school to make YouTube videos before he even made money off of YouTube videos. And it was pretty weird to think, because he said that the reason he did that was because he felt like that was the only thing that he was controlling, that was his, that he had control over, and that, you know, everything else in his life was kind of like someone else telling him what to do, or you know, someone else's dream or something like that. And I'm not gonna say that, you know, I feel the same way, but I feel like all these feelings that I have and all these things that happen in my life are pushing me away from that and more towards this. Maybe not streaming, but you know, video games. It's like I'm being pushed into video games. It's like it's pretty weird because my mom wasn't really the kind of person who was like, oh, here are some video games, you can play these. That was like just the people I grew up with. We went to visit my aunt who has like 4 children, and all of those kids played video games. They're like 5, 6 years older than me, or even 10 years older than me. So they were older, like they were a lot older than me, my cousins. But they all played video games all the time. And it's not like, oh, they played video games, but they also did go outside and sports. Like, I don't even know if they actually went outside to do sports. They probably did. But like, they were like gamers. They were hardcore gamers. And this was like back in 2004, 2005, right? When I was a little kid. Even 2003. I remember when I was 3 years old even before that. I'm 21, for anyone who doesn't know. So I was 3 years old in 2002. And that's the first time I remember remembering anything was like when I was 3 years old. And I remember when I was 3 years old, I was like, or I remember when I was like a bit older than 3, maybe like 7 or something. I remember, wow, I can only remember back to when I was 3, which is kind of weird. And it wasn't like, oh, I remember one thing from when I was 3, or one thing from when I was 2. It's like, I don't remember literally anything from before I was 3. And the first like images in my head that I have of anything are from, like, they're literally like videos of sorts. Like I can remember like entire places and people from when I was 3 years old. And the only age I've ever been told I was 3. I might have been 2, but I don't remember being told I was 2. I only remember being told I was 3, and obviously older. So I wouldn't know. I don't know why I started talking about 3 years old. Oh yeah, my cousins. They were playing a lot of video games. They were the ones who introduced me to Pokemon. They were the ones who introduced me to a game called Disgaea, which is one of my favorite games. And they introduced me to a lot of different video games, and just like the thought of playing a lot of video games and making that kind of normal. If you're bored, play video games. If you're well, it's not like, oh, if you do this, play video games. If you do that, play video games. It wasn't a mantra or anything. It was more like, video games are fun, and they showed me that it was fun, and I was like, whoa, video games. And they showed me World of Warcraft too. Actually, they didn't show me World of Warcraft. I was just sometimes watching some of the older cousins play video games, and some of the time they would be playing World of Warcraft. And I was looking at it like wide-eyed and thinking, wow, that's a cool game. Wow, those things are cool. That thing is cool. Wow, all these things are cool. And that's what drew me into it. It wasn't really, it wasn't that someone told me to play it. I literally just looked at it and I was like, well, this is cool. So that was, I just liked the game. And I still like the game, but not as much as I did back then. Which is probably the biggest change. And I don't know why I liked it back then more than I do now. I think I just found a lot of different games. And it's not that I don't want to play it a lot. It's just that I want to play other things too. But I won't say that it was worse than it was. But the point being, you grow up, you change, you just find other stuff, and yeah. So I feel like I've always been pushed into playing games. Because even if the people responsible for me haven't wanted me to play games necessarily or focus on playing video games, everything around me has just been somewhere You know, everything safe around me has been related to video games. My cousins that I was with a lot of my childhood, they like if I could choose, I would want to be normal. I want to be a person who just goes to school and gets a normal job. Right? I want that because everybody else is doing that, and if I have that, it fits with everybody else's schedule. I would like to be able to manage to have enough energy to do that. And you know, get home, do other stuff, hang with friends, you know. I would like to do stuff that all my friends are doing, that they are capable of getting through. And not because they are capable of getting through it, but because I don't feel like I need more. I don't need more. But even that is hard to get. And I think it's because I don't need more that I'm not pushing myself to even get that. Because the reason I don't want more is because I don't want to push myself. And that's because I'm satisfied with what I have. But also because I'm uncomfortable with pushing myself. It's not fun. And maybe I have ADHD and I just can't concentrate. I don't know. But I don't think I have ADHD or anything. But I do get tired of school. And considering I've dropped out of high school and not properly finished all my classes the second time, and now again trying to finish 2 subjects, I can say for sure that I'm a bit weaker than the other people around me when it comes to maintaining self-control and discipline. So I've been thinking, like, should I just not go to university and just maybe get a boring job? Because maybe waking up early and doing something simple and then going home and just playing whatever you want is going to be doable and going to be more fun. Because I don't need money. If I had $1 million or something like that, if I had a lot, like let's say I had $1 billion and I was only allowed to spend it on myself, the things I would buy would be a house, not a big house, because I don't want to clean all the house, like the whole house. Maybe a sizable house, I'm gonna be honest, but not a mansion or anything. Actually, if I had $1 billion, I'd probably do some weird stuff. But let's say I had a pretty good salary, right? I had enough money to buy basically whatever I wanted to. Just had to keep on working, you know. You take a loan and you buy and whatever. Right? I could get a cool car. I could you know, get a big house. Like, what would I actually get? I would not get a car because I don't need one. I can take public transport everywhere, and I'd be too lazy to actually have a car. And I don't actually have a license yet because there's a new rule now that you actually have to take the driving test every 5 years instead of just keeping your license forever. And that appeared the year that I was planning on getting my license. Love it. So that's fun. So that's why I don't really want a car. Maybe a trash one. But I'm not interested in getting like a sports car. I've been in a sports car before. They're pretty cool. They drive fast. I can see why some people want it. I kind of want it right now. Sit in a sports car, maybe drive a bit. But it's not something that's fun for long enough or worth it, in my opinion, to where I would want to actually spend a lot of time getting a lot of money to buy a sports car. You know what I mean? It's not worth it for me because I don't spend enough time outside. I spend most of my time inside playing video games, and the games I play are usually free. So I don't need money. Like I can understand, like a lot of my friends would probably want a nice car because they are outside a lot. They hang out with their friends. My life, if I could choose my life, if I had a lot of money and I didn't have to work, my spare time would be spent inside playing video games, maybe going outside to hang with some friends sometimes, but like that would be twice a week, 3 times a week if they ask me. Like I go outside whenever they ask me to like hang out. But like I go outside whenever they ask me, but it's usually like at max every 2 days. That's like at max. So usually it's maybe like twice a week. And even that is like I don't really need that personally. I could stay inside for a lot longer than that. Once a week is fine to go outside and just hang out with friends. I don't drink. I don't do any other substances. I don't smoke. I don't nothing. So I don't really need to go outside. I'm not really a person who needs a lot of things. If I had a lot of money, like if I gained, I have enough money now to live, basically, because I'm getting a school. I'm taking a school loan to live in an apartment, and get food and pay for the school. That's all the money I have. If I had more money right now, I would buy, like if I could buy something for myself, I would buy a table, because I literally just have this desk, and that's why you see all my school stuff on this little poof right here, because that's my table. I would buy a table, a small table on the floor, because I don't care for chairs. And I would buy, like, you guys don't know how small my room is right now. This is my whole room. This is my apartment right here. Out there, the door is like over there. Right over there. Like by the jacket, that's the door. Out there, there's the toilet and the kitchen. That's it. I have a small place here. It's pretty small. Big. Yeah, the room in itself is pretty big. I'm gonna be honest. The room itself is pretty big, but like it's not a house. Right? So if I had some money right now, like I'm not talking about like 100,000. I'm talking about if I had 10,000 extra. No, 1,000 extra, because that $1,000 extra dollars is 10,000 crowns, which is what I was thinking about. If I had $1,000 extra dollars right now, that would mean I would be having enough to. First of all, I probably wouldn't spend all of it, but I would probably buy a Switch, because I really want a Switch, and I'll buy a table. And maybe a small, like maybe a television. Not something too big, but yeah. Because I could plug the Switch to one of my computer monitors, but even that, yeah, as I was saying, if I had some extra money, like let's say $1,000 extra dollars right now, I would buy a desk, or like a table, small table. I would buy a Switch, because I like a Switch. I'd probably buy the Pokemon games for the Switch too, maybe a Breath of the Wild as well. I don't know, a few games. And then I would buy maybe a TV, not like a super flat screen, a 5,000 whatever, no. I'd buy like a TV, you know, for maybe $200, cheap TV. If you have $1,000 extra dollars that you can spend on leisure, right? So I'd be spending, let's see here, $500 on a Switch. I don't know if it's 500 or 400 or 600, I don't know. But like, let's say you spend, altogether, you know, you spend, no, actually that's a lot of money. $1,000, 600 on a Switch. Yeah, that's pretty expensive, isn't it? So, okay, I would spend about 800 of the $1,000 on Switch, TV, and a table. And then I would spend the rest on food. It's not because I only have $1,000. It's because I don't really need anything else. I don't even actually need the Switch. I just really want to play Pokemon. And even when I play through that, I'm just gonna leave it there. Because I have a Nintendo 3DS, and a Game Boy, and a Game Boy Color, and a Nintendo DS, and a Nintendo Wii, and I have an Xbox 360, and I had a PlayStation before. I don't have that anymore. I don't want anything. If I had a job now, let's say that, because right now I just have a loan that I'm living off because I'm going to school. If I got a job after going to school now, I would probably get, I would get the things that I was saying. Maybe I would move to a different place, apartment. Not really bigger, but, you know, more personal, so I don't have to share a bathroom and a kitchen. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Like, if you look at PewDiePie, I think he's a perfect example of what I probably would want myself. He has a big apartment, right? He rents an apartment, and he plays games, and he hangs out with his friends. But he doesn't have a he probably has a nice car, but it's not like he probably doesn't have a Ferrari. I don't think he has a Ferrari because he doesn't really care. I think if you looked at his, he had made a video where he showed like what he does when he works out, and it was literally he didn't have a rack of like weights to work out. He had one cheap thing with multiple weights, and you could just like change the weights. Like, think about that. He has a lot of money, and instead of spending it on like something that looks cool and like takes a lot of space, but he can afford it, he spends his money on even less. He spends it on something cheap and practical. You know, it takes a lot less space. It's just this big, and you can like change how much weight you have, and it's like it's so simplistic. And I think that's because he's not. I don't look at PewDiePie as a gamer. Maybe he looks at it at himself as a gamer, but I feel like a gamer is someone who plays, you know, World of Warcraft all day, every day, like world first raiders. I feel like those are gamers, but I don't feel like that's a bad thing either. But I feel like it's like I don't think PewDiePie plays that many games anymore. It's not because he couldn't or that he's not good, but it's just he has other things he also wants to do. Like he watches anime, he watches TV shows, he reads books, hangs out with his friends, right? He's a more well-rounded person. But you know, if you want to be classified as a gamer, I think that's fine. But I don't really like the word like gamer, because you're not a sporter when you play sports. You're a guy who plays sports. You're an athlete, right? But that's kind of like a professional thing though. But like, let's compare. If you're a guy who, I don't know, a gamer. I don't know. I feel like I'm a guy who plays video games, but I don't feel like I'm a gamer because I do so many other things too. Not necessarily productive things, but I think I watch a lot more YouTube videos than I play video games, right? And I probably watch a lot more streams and know a lot more about those than, you know, video games. So that's why I'm like, I feel like a gamer is someone who knows a lot about video games or a video game and like plays it a lot. But I feel like when I have a lot of spare time, I spend a lot more of it just goofing around, just wasting time on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube, which is why I think I'm not a gamer. Because I feel like people classify a gamer as someone who, like, if someone calls you a gamer and they're not, they're like a normal person out in the real world, they probably, I'm thinking that they think that you play video games all day. But what you're really doing is you're watching a lot of TV shows, a lot of YouTube videos, and playing games at the same time. Although you are playing a lot of video games, you're not playing video games all day. And it's not because you don't want to, you just really want to watch a YouTube video, right? Because I feel like a gamer is someone who dedicates himself to just playing that game, right? And that's usually pro players and high-ranked players, or, you know, World of Warcraft people, or people who RP. Like I don't really mind being called a gamer, but I feel like a gamer is a gamer, and not someone who just plays video games. Because I don't just play video games, although I kind of want to just focus on one game and stuff like that. Yeah, something I also noticed, like when I stream, I sit here for 6 hours, and I play and I stream. Right? I don't eat usually. I don't eat. I don't watch YouTube videos, and I don't stand up. But when I play video games in my spare time, I watch a lot of YouTube videos here while I'm playing, and some of the time I would just like look over here and just look at that for like an hour instead of playing the game. And I stand up a lot more to go to the bathroom, to just go get some water, to just go get some snacks, to just eat, and I move around a lot more in my house, which is like, you know, it's very different from when you're playing video games all day on a stream. That's also why I think a YouTuber is a better job than a streamer, because you can move around a lot more. You have a lot more freedom with your time. I mean, you still have to spend time on the video, but you can Like if you're streaming, you can stream for 8 hours and then take a break for the rest of the day. But when you're making YouTube video, you can take 5-minute interval breaks throughout the entire day and make a YouTube video the entire day. You don't need 5 hours after you're done making the video. You just need, you know, if you have, let's say it takes 6 hours to stream, and you wake up at like 10 and do your morning stuff, you know, like making breakfast, cleaning, showering, I don't know, and then you stream like 12 to 6, and then from 6 you have a break until you go to bed, right? I think it's a lot better to like wake up at 10, do whatever, and then maybe for half an hour, or even 2 hours, try to make a YouTube video, and then take a break, and then like make more video, and then break, and then edit, and then break, and then even working into like 9 o'clock. So if in total you work 9 hours with more breaks in between, I think that's a lot, not just a lot more manageable, but I feel like it's a lot better. It just feels better because it's more natural to what you're doing when you're not streaming. You know, it's more akin to if you would just be playing video games on your spare time or on a day off. Because on a day off you do whatever you want. And I feel like it just fits better. Alright, but yeah. Yeah, the reason I was streaming today, just wanted to share a bit and kind of figure out what I want to do. As I was saying, I was doing homework and I just didn't want to do homework anymore. I felt like I was kind of, it wasn't right to do it right now. But yeah, I don't know, I just want to play games, man. Just want to tell you guys that all I want to do is just want to play video games, man. Just want to play video games. I just want to wake up, sit down, play a game, chill. I could, if someone needs me to do something, I could go do that. But I'm not really looking to have a super job with super money. I feel like there's a lot of pressure, not just to finish these classes, but like to, if I decided to become something simple, I feel like there's pressure not just to get a good job, because I don't really feel like there's pressure on getting a good job, but I feel like there's pressure on trying your best. And not just trying your best, but like reaching your maximum potential. Like you're in school, like I feel like I'm not pressured to do well in school. I'm pressured to try my best. And I don't like that. I mean, that sounds kind of stupid. It's like, are you a spoiled little kid? I'm like, probably am, but that's not the point. I want to be able to do enough, but not overstrain myself. You know what I mean? Like I don't want top grades in class. I want mediocre grades. But I'm not gonna get mediocre grades. I'm gonna get either a fail or a pretty good grade, because if I don't put in enough effort, I'm just not gonna remember anything. And I don't know if that has anything to do with the pressure or if it has anything to do with me. But like, I don't want that. Like, I don't know what it's like to work as a programmer. I know that if I worked my hardest through school, through university, and got a job as a programmer and worked hard there, I feel like I could do everything that I'm supposed to. But I don't know if that's a lot or more than I need. And I don't want to be exhausted my whole life. I don't feel like I need in my life to really work and then get a big reward at the end. I don't even want that. I just want to be able to do work, what is needed, or like feel like the people around me are appreciating the amount that I put in, and then chill. If I don't have money to go do stuff, then I find something to do. If I don't have money for snacks, I just eat normal food, right? I don't feel like I want, grandiose life. But maybe I do. I don't know. But I feel like if I just slacked off and like didn't put in all my effort, I feel like it's not about what level I can reach. It's about what I'm trying to do. I don't feel like people want me to put in 500 blocks of work. I feel like they want me to put in 90% or 100% of what I can put in. And if 500 blocks is more than 100%, then I don't feel like they are gonna get angry if I put in 100%, which is like maybe 300 or 400. But I feel like if I put in 500 blocks and 100% is 700 or 1,000, that they're gonna get mad, that's kind of what makes me feel bad. And I've been thinking about like trying to make YouTube videos or stream. Obviously I'm streaming right now. I feel like I can't win. I feel like I'm heading into like a job or like a lifestyle where I'm not going to be winning. I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy with this job. I'm not going to be happy getting this education. Honestly, I'm going to be pretty happy that I made it through. I know that for a fact. But I know I'm not going to be more happy with a programming job than something else. And I know I'm not happy with putting all my effort into school. I would rather put some effort into school and spend most of my time playing video games. And I think after this, I'm going to actually watch a YouTube video. Because that's what I want to do. And maybe drink some water. And then, tomorrow I'll probably edit this, or depending on how much I need to edit, I can just edit it tonight. I don't even know what I guess I did talk about a lot of different things. I did tell you guys a bunch of things that I haven't said. And I feel like there's a lot more things that I really want to talk about, but I can't think of it right now. I was watching Mitch Jones, which is another streamer, and he was watching a YouTube video made by Contestra, I think. And that was a YouTube video. Contestra makes songs about streamers, so he uses a dialogue or words that the streamers have said to make music videos or music songs. And he made, I don't know if you guys have heard about Sup Y'all, that song, you probably heard that, or maybe not. But anyway, that guy made a song video for Mitch Jones, and it kind of encapsulated a lot of Mitch Jones's life and experiences and things he's been through. And I just looked at that and I was like, I want to encapsulate my life too. And that's kind of why I like streaming, because I want to record my life. I want to take parts of my life and save it. Are you depressed? To answer that, no, actually. But actually, when I was playing video games last year, I realized I'm pretty happy. I hear a lot of people are depressed, and I'm like, oh, I understand. Good to know you're not depressed, pal. Thank you. I was actually thinking about it. And a lot of people are depressed these days, and they feel like they have existential crises, like, oh, it's not enough to be you hear celebrities say all the time, oh, it's not enough to be famous, it's not enough with money, it's like nothing makes you happy. And I was like, well, I thought about it. I'm like, I'm pretty happy. Like, I wake up and I do things I like, and I'm not depressed. And I've been depressed before. I think that when I think about it, that's actually why I dropped out of high school. And I think the main thing that makes me depressed is school. And I'm a lot more understanding of what my depression comes from now. So these days, I would say that I'm not having as much fun, or I'm not as happy generally as I was during this last year, because I'm not doing things that I want to do. But I know that the reason I'm sad is not because my life sucks or something like that. It's like, I know what makes me sad. I know that homework makes me sad. I don't find it fun. I know that when I play video games, I'm happy. And I watch people like Westfall. He's a big streamer, and he died recently. of his own accord. I don't want to go too deep into that, but he was very sad his whole life. His brother died when he was very young, and it's been hard for him, and now he's dead too. And I was thinking, what kind of pain that must be, and I don't have that. Are you worried about your life a bit? I'm kind of worried that, my parents and, people around me, they want me to go to school, they want me to finish school and get a job. And I'm kind of worried that if I do what they say, I'll be less happy than if I just had a pretty, had like a job at the grocery store and came home and played video games all day. I think I'd be happier doing, I don't know though, obviously. Like if the job that I get after my education is cool, it'll be worth it, right? But I'm worried that the job is not gonna be. It's just that I think, I know that I know you need a certain amount of money to be covered in your expenses and things that are necessary, and that's the minimum for being happy. But I get the feeling that, because where I live, which is Norway, having one job at the grocery store is enough to sustain you. You don't need more money. You have enough money for rent, food, and leisure. You don't have enough money for a car and house and kids. Actually, you kind of do. So it's not about money, but I'm scared. I'm worried that if I go through this very draining work of school, that I'll end up in a job that is supposedly more fun because it's programming, and I like programming a lot more, but will end up being just as taxing or boring or tiresome than as a standard grocery store job. And I'm thinking, why bother? Why go through this if it's not gonna help you in any way? And I think that's my biggest worry, really. I would say right now, I'm not really happy. I mean, I'm happy because I'm chilling, right? Chilling. And that's my standard, I'm chilling, so I'm happy. I don't really care. I'm chilling. I feel I don't need more than that, because I'm a pretty introverted guy. I like video games, I like anime, I like YouTube, I'm chilling. So I'm happy. But I can't do that because this homework and school requires more of my time than I want to give. But I need to give that time if I am to end up where supposedly the grass is greener. And that's what I'm worried about. Is the grass greener? Is it going to work? Because this is the third time I try to finish this, not this homework, but this process of getting this competence, this education, so that I can start going to university. I heard that university is a lot more fun, but what if it's not? What if university is exactly the same? Because obviously university has harder subjects, but what if it's the same amount of work as this? Because if it is, then that's another 5 years, 3 to 5 years, depending on what kind of degree you want to take, where I have to work just as hard, spend just as much time on stuff I don't want to do, and play less video games, have less fun. And obviously, I know that if your life revolves around hanging out with friends, and you have friends and you do homework and stuff like that, that can be a sustainable life. But when I hang out with my friends, I can only hang out with them for so long before I want to play a game. I'm okay, I've hung out with you for 5 hours today. I kind of just want to go home and play League of Legends or something. It's not because I don't like my friends. It's because I like video games. One thing's for sure, nothing's gonna change as long as I sit around, because I've been trying to change things for the past year, if not longer. And the only thing that's changed my life has been going through school. I've been wanting things to change for many, many years, and the only road I really see is finishing the education, because that way it's done. Education is no more. If I get a computer science engineer or computer engineering or software engineering education, then I have job opportunities. And not only do I have job opportunities, but I don't have to do school anymore. I'm done with school. Right? There's no pressure on me after that. I don't know. But I'm glad I took the time to chat. I think I'm gonna end the stream now because it's pretty late and I gotta. Well, I have the day off tomorrow. It's Monday. I was talking about that earlier. But I have to go to bed and I have a sore throat right now because I've been talking for 3 hours. And I'm happy I talked about a lot of things today. We'll see. Just follow the channel and fantastic. Just follow the channel and you'll be notified when I'm live. You can also join the Discord and subscribe to me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna be announcing on Discord if I go live, because why not? And I'm gonna upload these sorts of videos to YouTube or streams. I'm probably gonna cut them a bit so they're not like so stretched out. But yeah, because I kind of want to like record it somewhere so that I can keep them somewhere. So if you're interested in like finding out about these like updates on my life. Like, why do you care about me? I'm a random person. But if you care, I don't know, for some reason, then you can subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. I tweet sometimes, and I like stuff that is interesting. I think I've been talking about my life all the way from 7th grade till today, in a general sense. It's been a lot of information. It was a lot longer than I thought. I thought it was going to be streaming for an hour. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll be heading off now, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night, or evening, or morning, or whatever, wherever you are. And just talk to you guys someday, you know.